Why do men cheat? If you're watching this video, most probably you have been cheated by a man and the reason was not entirely obvious. Or maybe you are trying to prevent this situation right now. Anyway, watch this video until the end, because we'll try to overview the most common reasons why men cheat. Maybe you can discover a particular situation out of those reasons. Also, please share your experience in the comments below. Maybe it could help someone else. Remember that if you like this video, don't forget to hit that button. It really helps us to know that we should do more like this one. Also, check the description where you can find more resources related to the info in this video. Many men say with conviction that they will never cheat on their partner, but how many of them can really fulfill that promise? I mean, come on, never. With so many temptations around in life at increasing speed, extramarital relationships erode countless relationships, sometimes until breakup. Extramarital affairs are too common nowadays, unfortunately. More men than women have extramarital affairs, but women are not too far away in this process either. According to an article in New York Times, the American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy conducted a national survey indicating that 15% of married women and 25% of married men have had extramarital affairs at least once in their married life. The incidence is about 20% higher when emotional relationships are included without sexual intercourse. Yes, there is such a thing. One reality is that extramarital affairs do not depend on age or income. It just clicks the vulnerabilities in a couple's life and puts their marriage in danger. But if you think that all extramarital affairs result from a single reason, probably sexual, then you may be wrong. As a curiosity, some blame the astrological influence, if you can believe it. But in terms of age, the truth is that infidelity is more common in married men of middle age. Why do men cheat? The causes of extramarital affairs range from boredom in long-term relationships to frequent disagreements between partners. But poor sex life is also one of the major reasons why men start looking for physical intimacy outside of marriage. Not all extramarital relationships happen for the same reasons, but most of them go somewhat similarly. A boy falls madly in love with a girl, they get married, then the worries of marriage, responsibilities, and duties begin. Inevitably, the feelings are lost, and then the men start looking for adventures outside of marriage. This is not only true for men, it is for women also. While women are rather looking for an emotional anchor outside of marriage, and thus become involved in emotional relationships, men are looking especially for physical relationships. Why do husbands have extramarital affairs? There are many reasons why men cheat on their partners. While some blame astrological influence, yes, that too. The truth is that infidelity is more common in middle-aged married men. During the so-called middle-age crisis, many men seek external sources of emotional and sexual pleasure. Some extramarital affairs generally begin as small emotional relationships, and men do not even consider them as affairs. Let's review the main reasons for extramarital affairs. He thinks that his marriage was a mistake. What makes a man seek love outside of marriage? One reason is when he starts to consider that marriage was a mistake. Many men who get married around the age of 20 feel that they got married too early. Due to lack of experience and family responsibilities, many of them regret that they missed all the fun. To fix this mistake, many young people embark on an extramarital affair to find something else. As they become more financially and socially established until the middle of their 30s, they indulge in extramarital affairs to spice up their otherwise boring life. Thus, early marriage could be a major reason why a husband is having an affair. He was married because of family influence. Especially in India, many Indian men who accept an arranged match marry without knowing their potential life partner, end up looking for love outside of marriage. They get married, in fact, because of family or social pressures. This choice of a spouse that is not his is a potential life bet, which may or may not work for such men. Thus, incompatibilities in marriage open doors for men's infidelity. He may be immediately attracted to someone who might be a better match than the current wife and cheat. In these situations, this is one of the major reasons why men have extramarital affairs. It often begins as an innocent flirt, becoming an emotional affair, and finally transforming into a full-fledged relationship. The appearance of an ex in his life. The entrance of an old love into the husband's life could trigger an extramarital affair, undoubtedly. Many men feel that an ex-girlfriend may fill the emotional void in their present life, and may be tempted to rekindle the long-lost romance and happiness. Most men and women who have been in a relationship at some point immediately feel attracted to each other when they meet after a few years. The presence of an ex-girlfriend around is a very solid reason for a husband to have an extramarital affair. A boring daily routine and a middle-age crisis are an extraordinary combination. These are strong reasons for men to cheat on their wives, even when their marriage is smooth. A person could be happy in his marriage, but still have an affair. Boredom could be a reason for an extramarital affair. He does not feel valued in his marriage. A man seeks love outside of marriage when he does not feel appreciated within it. A marriage is successful only when both partners are appreciated for their strengths. But often it has been observed that a woman is too busy balancing her personal and professional responsibilities. In such situations, the wife may neglect or ignore her partner or consider the relationship too safe, or she may unconsciously reject his partner or devalue his opinions on a regular basis. This continuous pattern can block the quality of communication between the partners. Already depressed, such a man can seek appreciation and acceptance from a close friend of the opposite sex and give in to the temptations of an emotional adventure. This is another major reason why a husband has an extramarital affair. An escape from a boring life. Adultery in men can be of different kinds. Some men simply engage in an extramarital affair out of sheer boredom. Life with a wife and children is sometimes too predictable, and the pure risk of an adventure arouses a new spirit in them. This could lead to adventure in a boring life and is an easy escape for such individuals. Many men feel that they really live after an affair, and the need to keep it a personal secret becomes tempting. Satisfying sexual desires without commitment. Men with sexual tension are looking for consensual married women to fulfill their sexual desires. Lack of action in bed often causes them to engage in adultery. Especially after children come, many couples consider sex an obligation. This leads to physical dissatisfaction in marriage and causes men to engage in an extramarital affairs without commitment. There are a number of online adult dating sites where married men post their ads to get involved with someone strictly in an unconditional physical relationship. Some married men are charming and attract single women, while some enter into physical relationships with married women to avoid complications. They lack the spice of their sex life. Often, a man's opinion of a successful marriage is based on sex and intimacy. It gives him self-worth and opens up ways for him to communicate and make a connection with his wife. But if the husband and wife do not agree, then intimacy may tempt him to meet his physical needs outside of marriage. This relationship can be purely physical or emotional, depending on the needs of the man. These men who have extramarital affairs are not looking for any long-term relationship, and their need to cheat is mainly due to the need to spice up their sex life. But in other cases, there are married men who want to make emotional connections with someone outside of marriage. The lack of emotional connection between husband and wife often opens up situations in which the man seeks emotional support and friendship from someone else. A dead bedroom is why most men choose an extramarital affair. They need intellectual stimulation with the other woman. Sometimes, the lack of intellectual common ground is the reason why some men cheat. The difference in professional life between husband and wife often opens up space for extramarital affairs. In most cases, a man with a rich professional life is married to a housewife and does not receive emotional and intellectual stimulation during discussions with his wife. For this reason, he seeks someone from his line of work or a similar environment to get emotional fulfillment. However, in most of these cases, relationships are not limited to emotional exchanges. Rather, it turns out into something more physical. Relationships at work. Nowadays, such extramarital affairs are very common, especially among corporate men. Men in extramarital affairs are most often involved in physical relationships at work because they give them extra energy. They organize trips and team buildings with that person in order to consume their relationship. Many wealthy businessmen often seek out assistance in daring women for the stated purpose of adultery. In such cases, they enter into a predetermined contract with that employee chosen based on mutual benefits. However, these types of businesses are largely physical and contain almost no emotional elements. But such affairs at work with a much younger woman can put such bosses in a more vulnerable position, where they can be accused of sexual harassment. Extramarital affairs at work are more common than we might think. Disagreements over core values and priorities. Why do men have extramarital affairs? What are the causes of extramarital affairs? The constant quarrels could be at the top of the list. Contradictory discussions are part of any couple's life, but in difficult situations, these discussions could expose some serious compatibility issues. Differing life expectations and conflicting core values can affect marriage. In many cases, such ongoing disagreements make a marriage toxic. Over time, the differences become so great that it is impossible for a couple to agree on basic, day-to-day decisions. Such irreconcilable differences and daily quarrels could cause a man to enter into an extramarital affair for emotional support. A woman who pays attention to such a man receives all her attention and love, and slowly develops an intimate relationship with him. They need something new to get through the middle-age crisis. Getting attention and admiration from a young woman increases confidence and self-esteem in the case of an older man. Inside his family, he often feels that he is taken for granted, and his efforts to be constantly in good shape are ignored. Doing so much for the family and receiving nothing in return could be the seeds of dissatisfaction in life. At this stage, if a potentially younger woman recognizes his strengths, life experience, and maturity, he may be very attracted to her attention and give in to the temptation to escape the middle crisis by having an affair. So this irresistible chemistry could lead to an intense adventure. In many situations, he can be a sugar daddy for such a woman and can help her make important decisions in life. Some men also have adventures just for career advancement, especially if their superior is a woman. Get validation in life. Men are always inclined toward younger and beautiful women. Meeting a younger woman could be a great boost to their self-esteem, against spending a boring life with an older wife who is no longer concerned with her appearance and self-image. This new company can make him feel special and can attract him on a hot adventure. The thrill and enthusiasm help to break the monotony of life for men, and they feel happy and joyful. Someone said that an extramarital affair starts in the head, long before you get to bed. These potential triggers can tempt many men to cheat on their wives. Adultery in the case of a man may seem like an easy escape from a troubled marriage, but in reality, it will increase the complications in his life. Instead of suffering alone in marriage, a man needs to talk to his wife, address relationship issues, and improve his quality of life. Isn't this an easy way to get rid of many marital problems? Wives, on the other hand, must constantly pay attention to the validation needs of their husband, so that communication with him is easy and all communication problems are prevented. If you have something more to add, use the comments to pick up the conversation there. Also, check the description where we placed more resources related to the info in this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to see more like this. In fact, why would you click on the next one? We really think you will enjoy it.